Hi students, this is Dr. Nisha Vashne, your psychology teacher. Today we are going to start with your second chapter, which is very interesting, called Self and Personality. So it is always interesting to know about ourselves, but no, what is more important to know others? I think both, right? So let us figure out in this chapter how can we understand ourselves, and then we can move ahead in understanding others. So let's start. So the name of the chapter is Self and Personality. In this chapter, this is divided into half self and half chapter is talking about the personality. Self, to know yourself. What do you want to know about yourself? Let me ask you a question. If I ask you in a definition or in a nutshell, define yourself, how would you do that? What all words come to you? Your name, your age, your religion might be. So these things make you and yourself. But beyond that, there are so many other aspects as well that we are going to understand in this concept called self concept. Right? So self means I, मैं, right? So what I feel is more important. Fine. Feeling means most of the time, how do I feel? I feel happy, I feel light, I feel sad, or whatsoever. So the feeling means the area where I feel more comfortable and which comes to me automatically. So every individual has different feelings. Most of the people you must have seen, they're smiling all the time, and some people are most of the time you must have seen frown faces. So what they feel comes on their face, right? So first word is about to know yourself is feeling. What I think of myself and what I feel. And the second is the ideas. Shall I do this? No. Shall I don't this? I can't do this. I can do this. This is good for me. This is not good for me. So whatever, circles around you, the ideas keep on coming to you, and you keep on changing your vision based on those ideas, what you have to do. So the steps you take in your life based on these ideas, right? So the second word which defines self is your ideas, right? So you have to nurture good ideas so we can take good steps in life and we can move forward, right? And now the third thing which defines self is the thoughts. So these are very common things. We are nowadays say he's very negative person, he's very positive person. How do we define it? Whenever we talk to someone and you feel that he is a positive person, because you feel those positive vibrations, because that person has positive thinking. He has a positive thinking, and once you are talking to the person, he is explaining you, he's telling you something positive. So you start feeling he's a good person, he has a good thoughts. So the third thing which defines yourself is the thought. So whatever thought you have, this is different from idea, right? The idea is your steps that you take, and no doubt they all are interlinked. So if you take good think or good thought, then your steps are going to be good, right? They're interlinked, however they're little different, that we are going to learn with the help of the definition. So the third word is your thought, and the last word is which defines you is your experience. Yes, whatever you are today, 17, 18. So how do you reflect to the society and how do you meet to the new person is based on your experiences also, right? So whatever has happened to us, that is also a part of ourself which develops gradually, slowly, and that makes ourself. So the fourth one is your experience. So we have discussed here 4 words that defines I. So first is your feeling, second is idea, third is your thought, and fourth is your experience. So this way, this is the definitions that you can see in your NCERT, which is written in an italic form. Self refers to the totality of an individual's conscious experiences, ideas, thoughts and feelings with regard to himself and herself. So this is the small definition that we discussed at first step of the chapter, what is self. Now I give you one small activity, the 4 words that we have discussed today. You write about yourself. How do I feel? Most of the time your feelings, right? Assume you are Nisha, write I feel this, think my ideas are this, thoughts are this. My ideas are the 3rd step, and the 4th one, what are my experiences, good, bad or mix. Some people are positive because they had been with a good journey of life, with good experiences. So once you, first of all, you have to understand yourself, then you will do the half chapter, that is personality. So this is the definition of self that we discussed. Hope you must have understood. So the next step, or to understand the next concept, is attributes of self. What do you mean by attributes? Attributes are the factors or the contributors that make yourself, right? So here we have 2 categories. First is personal and other is social. For example, if I ask about yourself, so who are you? So you will normally say your name. I am Nisha, right? And moreover, if you want to explain about yourself, if I ask you, explain a little bit about yourself, what are you? So you would say, I'm a hard worker, I'm an honest person, whatsoever, right? What you have confidence in you that I am this, and that is why you convey this to the other person, right? And the third one could be anything, but your qualities you are describing. So these are your personal qualities you are describing to any person. So they are the contributor in making yourself. They are part of you. I am here to explain attributes of self. So one is your personal, where you have defined your name, your qualities, and what you do basically, right? I am a teacher, I am a student, whatsoever. And the next category is your social contributor or social attribute. Here social means which you define in context of the society. For example, you say I am a Hindu, I am a Delhiite, okay, and I am an Indian. What are these things? You are defining your social identity and they are contributed in you. Of course, you cannot separate with these social identities, fine, and you take help of these things in defining yourself. Normally in talks we normally say I'm vegan, I'm non-vegetarian. So these are the terms given to the social concepts that you take on you and that make yourself. So personal as well as social, both things collaborate, and these are the attributes, or you can say the contributor in making yourself, which is very easy to define other. Right, whatever we have discussed here, whether it is personal or if it is social, you are defining to the other person. You are explaining to the other person that this is your self, which is very important. So this is the second paragraph of your NCERT, or the second topic. You can see easily after the definition of self, the attributes of self, which is personal as well as social. Now let us move to the next topic, which is status of self. So what is status? So let me ask you one question. What is the status of mother in a society? We know. What is the status of a PM in a society, right? So same way, what is the status of self? Who is going to define that? You are going to define that what is my status. So here the question is this: all individuals have self, right? They see their self as a subject and as an object as well. Now what is subject and what is object? Subject means the person who is doing something, fine, and while doing that something, the same person is feeling what kind of a feeling that person is having at the time of doing that work. So the feeling and telling the other, I feel happy while doing that. So you are talking about your object of the self, fine. For example, you say I do painting, fine. You tell that you do painting, so doing that thing is subject of self. You say that you are doing it, and while doing the painting you feel very happy and relaxed, energetic is you are explaining that I am feeling happy, I am feeling energetic in terms of object. So the telling and feeling of that doing is called object. So both are you. Interestingly, both are you. Subject is you, object is you, but in you are defining two status of yourself. So first is subject and other is object. Normally students get confused in this particular paragraph of the self, that how do we define it. So it is not different, and you are not telling this to anyone, you are just feeling inside yourself. ठीक है, this is my cup of tea, so this is object. What is your cup of tea? Whatever you do, whatever you the steps you take in your life. So both are you. Here we are still looking at the self. Nobody is looking at the personality, and we are not talking about how others are looking at me and they are telling me what I am. Here all the time I'm talking about myself. We have discussed self as subject and self as object. Hope so far the concepts are clear to you. Definitions, attributes of self, and self's status of self, right? Three things we have done: definition, attributes, and status of self. Let us move little forward in understanding kinds of self. Kinds of self means here again the more important question is that kinds of self, is self so many of times? These are not normally the similar thing. Here we are talking about when does self start developing. So it starts developing when we are born, right? A baby cries when he feels hungry. Why does he cry? Because he's telling you that he is hungry, please provide food. Okay, so that is a biological need which is compelling the child to cry and tell, please provide me the food. So that biological need converts now into self. Ki I am here, please attend me, I am hungry, right? So this is the first step in developing the self. Now gradually we move to the family, we went to the family, now we move to the society, and gradually other things also comes in our life, and that helps in making our self. So let us start from the personal self. How does it develop? Here we are just talking about I, be I where. So here it is psychological needs as well as social needs. It develops gradually in the child. Psychological needs means of course love, care, hatred, you can say, friendship, or ignorance. These are the things now you start understanding and you start developing in yourself. And sometimes you demand, I want my freedom, I want to do this. So when you start demanding something, so you have understood yourself. So it has started from the time when you born up, right? And gradually once you brought up into an environment, you start understanding these psychological needs of yours. And these both psychological needs as well as social needs. Why do you need social needs? Social needs are also required because you need affiliation with the family, you need affiliation with the friends, your peers. So it helps in developing yourself. That is why we have categorized into different types of kinds. The first kind is personal, which is completely I, and the second is I plus others, which is known as social / relational self, in which we look for unity, we look for sacrifices, we look for patriotism kind of a feeling. So when you are associated in a society, okay, and you see in club with others, that is your social kind, fine. And the earlier one which I have explained you, psychological, biological needs, are your personal. So that is why we have divided them into the categories of personal and social. So this was the fourth topic that we have covered till now. I hope you must have understood all the variants that we are discussing. So far we have covered 4 areas: self as definition, attributes of self, status of self, and kinds of self. Kindly write them neatly and try to write whatever we have learnt so far about yourself and one more person. in your family or a friend, you write about them also, correct? So you can differentiate in understanding the self of that person and in the understanding of yourself. This will help in differentiating the concept and memorizing things in a very better way, right? So let us move to the next topic, and which is very interesting in terms of in terms of improving yourself. So far we have just learned what is self, how does it develop, how much time it take, and what are the different kinds, right? Time I am talking about since the child is born, right? Now the next topic is about, can you change yourself? So answer is yes, we can change ourselves, but how do you change? Do you have any thought over it that you can change yourself? So your thought and thinking is your cognition that we have learned in class 11th, right? And your practices on that, whatever you think, you practice that. Okay, if I think that I want to do smoking, I'll go and I'll do smoking, right? So what I'm thinking, the same thing I'm going to do that. So what do we have to do? What we have to change? Our thoughts. Fine. So the thoughts, decision making, rationality and analysis is in you. What you have to do in your life. So cognition and behavioral aspect of self is very deep, and it is all about you. If you know you are a lazy person, what you have to do, right? If you know you don't do hard work in studies, you know what you have to do. Fine. If you know but you are not doing that, then this is not good. This is not intellectual part of your cognition. But the people, those who know that something is lacking and they have to take steps in their life, so that behavioral aspect and practices are called their behavioral aspect of self. Fine. So this is the topic which is very interesting to understand and introspect about ourselves, that how can I improve myself. So both cognition and behavior are part of your behavioral cognition that we are going to do in little detail. So this behavioral aspect is called self-concept. So far we have not discussed self-concept. You think of yourself and you want to take steps in your life are called self-concept. First is self-esteem. Esteem means respect. How do you respect yourself? Is it high, low? And I know that it is being developed by society also, because if they encourage you, you feel high about yourself. If they don't, then you have low esteem. Yes, the esteem develops from the childhood. At the age of 6 to 7, your self-esteem starts to develop, and it develops in all the areas: academics, physical appearances, social, and even in sports also. So here, if you have a low self-esteem, I'm telling you, now what you have to do? You have to take step in improving the self-esteem. Those who are high in self-esteem take good decisions. They are liked by the peers, and they are achievers. Here the question is this: parents have to help also in developing the self-esteem among the children. Parenting is an important aspect in making anyone and breaking anyone. So those children who have good parenting and who have good parenting, good motivation from the parents, have a high self-esteem. So question here is that you have to think of yourself. Where do I lie? If it is low, how to improve it? This is the chapter not talking about that you have to get marks in boards, but think of yourself that this is chapter which will help in improving myself. Correct? So this was the first aspect of self-esteem. Same is self-efficiency or efficacy. Sometimes if something is given to you, you say, okay, I'll do this and I'm perfect in this. You are perfect in music, you are perfect in dance, in sports, because that self-esteem is the ground of making your self-efficacy. And according to Bandura, children learn self-efficacy and doing things in a better way through the observation, right? So whatever they learn around from this if a child sees that in their house things are scattering around, the child will never practice cleanliness. Okay, and this is a small example. Same way, if it is, this is a small example, if you take it a big example on this, to improve self-efficacy, to take responsibility. If the child sees that his or her parents are more responsible in doing their social activities, you will automatically see that child is more has more efficacy in doing the same activities. So these are called self-efficacies, which help in developing your behavioral as well as cognitive aspect. If you are lacking here somewhere, please look at yourself, do a little introspection. If you think that you are lacking here, you should start working on this with the help of your teachers, your parents. Correct? In that category, we have the last thing is called self-regulation. Whatever you do, are you doing it regularly, or just because somebody has told you to this, okay, Shah Rukh Khan has wore this shirt, I will be wearing this shirt, or only all momentary thing, or he has done this activity, I will do that. So is it regular, or it is just a kind of a thing, one comes, other comes, goes away? So those who are regular in doing their things, all kind of activities, if they're regular in doing exercise, they're regular in studying, they're regular in attending their classes, so those automatically develop good cognition and behavioral practices about themselves, and their self-concept is higher and better than others. So how to do that? Organize yourself, monitor yourself. Whatever you say, do you do that? If you don't do that, so I'm sorry to say, your self-regulation is very poor. Okay, so here comes the willpower. But the willpower that you have in you helps in taking and doing those things. So I would suggest improve your willpower, and it includes self-control. Means if you are on diet, or if you are doing some exercises which prohibits to have a certain kind of a food, okay, so you should have that self-control. So that self-control helps you in self-regulation. Self-instruction, okay, you have to do this, you have to get up on time, you have to study, you have not given this test, you have to visit that place, you have to submit the assignment. So instruction is also important. And observing yourself simultaneously. Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Am I not doing it? Because your heart tells you each and everything about yourself, what you are, what you are not. If you lie, don't mind, you will be caught later or sooner. If you are really true, so your self-regulation will definitely give you reward, and it comes with the help of regular self-reinforcement. If you have got a reward, so how would you pat yourself? Okay, I have to be regular, I have to be regular, and I have to do all these things in this manner. Okay, so this was the last topic of self-concept. This is the last topic of self, under which we have completed self-concept. We have done 3 categories: self-esteem, respecting yourself; self-efficacy, how do you do the work; and the last one is self-regulation, that whatever you do, it is regular, it is not temporary. Okay, so by the end of this topic of self, I hope you must have understood the concepts as well as their sub-concept, and you will learn in a better way and improve yourself in understanding after understanding this topic. Thank you so much.